Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Mid-Atlantic Modeling League Spike Magazine Trophy. It's week number 6, our first game in Division A tonight, and it's a real interesting matchup. I'm very intrigued with how this is going to shake out tonight. We'll talk about why in just a minute, but tonight it's going to be the Dead Poets versus Nevva, S-Beaver versus Chime, Undead versus Orcs. Doesn't seem like a particularly tricky matchup, but I think it is. Let's take a look at the standings before we take a look at these two teams. In Division A, in first place currently is Dead Fred's Real American Heroes, a Dark Elf team. 3-1-0 is their record. Closely behind them is Nick Satan's Cenozoic Park, a Lizardman team. They're in second place with 3-0-1. And S-Beavers, the Dead Poets, they're up tonight. They're in third place. An Undead team, 2-3-0 is their record. With a win tonight, they will advance into first place. Nevva, Chime's team in fourth place. An Orc team, 2-1-2 is their record. A win tonight puts them in second place. And in Division B, in first place, Eric's Alphitis Australis, a Wood Elf team, 4-1-0 is their record. They've been bouncing back and forth between them and Doug the Minotaur, who is currently in second place. League champion, the White Skull Windbreakers, they're an Orc team, 4-1-0 is their record. And Mr. Yuck, Venger's team in third place, an Urgle team, 2-2-1 is their record. Those three teams have been sitting at the top of the charts all competition long in Division B, but you can see BB Nuts, Harlequins, BBFC, they have risen up the ranks and they are duking this out as well. Richard Craniums, I Want to Be Like Doug, still in it as well. This is a hotly contested division with all 5 of those teams really vying for that top spot. The top 2 teams in each division will advance to the top 4 after week 9. Boot Polish says, what if I get 5 TDs? Okay, you get 5 TDs, you will be in first. First up, the home team, the Dead Poets, coming into TV at 1,470,000 gold. It's an Undead team. They've got a full roster of 12, I think, right? 5, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, minus 1 is 12. 12-player roster, 2 mummies, 2 blitzers, 4 ghoul runners, and a whole bunch of zombos. McKernan will be out with an injury this week. 1 cheerleader, 1 assistant coach, 4 dedicated fans, 4 rerolls. They're going to be up against this Orc team. Chimes, Nevva coming in at a TV of 1,505,000 gold. That's not a lot of petty cash. That's basically nothing. 35K in petty cash? Nothing. Also has a full roster of 12. Let's see, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 players on this roster. Has the big guy in Rick Rolla Astley II. That's the troll. 4 of these blockers, 4 blitzers, 2 linemen, and of course a goblin. 1 apothecary, 1 cheerleader, 1 assistant coach, 4 dedicated fans, 3 rerolls instead of 4. How do the 2 teams play tonight? Let's jump right over to this Undead team. This Undead team, I think they're a little bit hamstrung going into this match. That said, I think the momentum is squarely in the Dead Poets' hands tonight. Turn 0, right now, they control the momentum. And why is that? I think this game's going to come down to 2 things. It's going to come down to these 4 ghoul runners, and it's going to come down to regen. S-Beaver, if he wants to win tonight, ghoul runners and regen are what he needs to leverage in order to do that. He has the 2 mummies who've leveled up. They have block and guard. Excellent pickups on the mummy. He'll want to keep those mummies grouped together to get that strength 6 block, to get those 3-die mighty blow blocks, and to keep them pushing downfield, controlling center pitch, or really controlling wherever the drive goes. That's where he wants the mummies to be. He has the 2 white blitzers who will be on blitz duty naturally. He's picked up tackle on each of the white blizzards. White blizzards. White blitzers. And this is really, when I say he's hamstrung, this is why, in my opinion. I'm not at the top of the division, however. But you can see he has 2 white blisters, both with tackle. And then look at his ghoul runners. He has 2 ghoul runners, both kitted out as his ball carrier. I think an Undead team crucially needs that Fowler. I think that's where one of your ghoul runners is, right? You have that ghoul runner with MA7. They have access to the buckets they need to get Sneaky Git and Dirty Player. He doesn't have that yet, and he's been piling on the SPP to these 2 ball carriers. He has a ball carrier in Hendrix and a ball carrier in Joplin, but doesn't have the Sneaky Git that he wants, and more importantly, that's a lot of TV that he's giving away. He could have ended up with more petty cash tonight, but has both white blitzers kitted out the same way, has two of his ghoul runners kitted out the same way, and I think that's going to hurt him going into this matchup. He does have block on the number 12 zombie. I think that's great, and I think kitting out the two mummies the same way is great as well, right? Because you want to keep them grouped up together and really getting those 3-die Mighty Blow blocks. But without that petty cash, that TV advantage, he's going to need to leverage these ghouls for all they're worth. And it means I think he's going to have to take the fouls. I think that means he's going to have to position them, position all of his players in ways where he's taking key blocks and not just taking willy-nilly blocks. And that's because he's up against an absolutely devastating roster here by Nevva. Block almost all across the board. 4 players with guard, 4 players with mighty blow, a couple of players with tackle, and you want to talk about fouling, there you go. Number 13 is a dirty player, so Nevva is out for blood tonight. It is Blood Bowl. He's going to try to murder this undead team, and what S. Beaver's going to have to do is he's going to have to prevent that by outpacing this orc team with those ghoul runners. He has a definite speed advantage against a relatively slow team, and also knowing when to take marks to tie up those big end blockers, when to tie up the big guy, and take the hit, and then rely on regen to get your player back, right? Get him back for the next drive. That's what he's got to do tonight in order to win. If not, he's going to find himself with 4 players left on the pitch, and that's going to be no good. So that means S. Beaver needs to control the momentum. He is deciding who wins tonight, in my opinion. And that's kind of a difficult position to be in, right? Because that means you have a lot of things that you have to think about and your opponent doesn't. And when you're in that position, you know, that's really difficult to navigate. But if anybody can do it, he can do it. These two coaches are both at the top of the bracket. They're both, or not the bracket, but the top of the division. They're there for a reason. They're out to win tonight. And it is anybody's game. It is not a foregone conclusion who wins tonight. I just think the Orc team has a little bit of an easier time because they can play into their innate strategy of just murder, death, kill. All right. Boo Polish says, you can decide for me to win. I'm cool with it. All right. Without further ado, I'm going to check out Discord and see if the coaches are ready to get underway this evening. Looks like they are. So we'll just wait for this game to get underway. Division A, Week 6. 4 weeks left in regular play before the cut to top 4. This is our second competition of the season. The finalists will earn an invitation to the Blood Bowl later in the season. We already have 2 advancing. We're looking for 2 more. Waiting for this game to get underway. Nothing's going to happen in the inducement phase. Nevva, one of the 2 teams who's already earned their spot in the Blood Bowl. The White Skull Windbreakers, they're in the upper bracket. Nevva already in the lower bracket. They're looking to increase that, to bump that to the upper bracket with a win in the Spike Magazine Trophy. Look at this pitch. $6 fan factor for the Dead Poets this evening, 5 for Nevva. That's a lot of money. Here's the coin toss. We'll see who wins this coin toss and what they're going to decide. Nevva, so I think they could decide to go either way here. They're going to decide to go on offense to begin with, and I think that's fine. That means the Dead Poets will set up their defense. Dead Poets setting up in an anchor defense. Pretty typical stuff for an undead team. Going up against this bash-heavy orc team. Currently putting 4 on the line, pulling those mummies back, trying to keep the mummies mobile. You can go either way with the mummies here on defense. You can either put them in a linebacker position or put them up on the line. If he puts them up on the line, that's sort of betraying his intentions to the opponent. Says, "Hey, I'm going to control center pitch." Oh, putting him on the outside here doesn't necessarily. This will be a little risky if he ends up with the mummies on the outside here, because they can get marked, and then they're going nowhere. Joplin, number 7 Gould runner in the middle linebacker position. There he goes, spread wide on the line. And now Nevva to set up their offense. They'll block down this entire line. They'll take a blitz. They'll probably try to keep these mummies under control on turn 1. Whether that means a mark or whether that means a tackle zone nearby. Currently 5 on the line for Nevva. Bad Dog 013, welcome to the stream. Clivis, thank you very much for the bits. Cheering for the Orc team. Here's the kick. Middling kick. Ball scatters an extra space. Turn 1 underway here. So Nevva with 3 blocks to take and a blitz. The blitz almost certainly going to be on Joplin here, the blodger. Going to try to cover the ball first before he starts rolling dice. Two-die block on the right defensive end, gets a push. All right, he has a second blitz option. This time on number 14. Number 14 might end up being the blitz option here. Probably not going to go on these mummies right from the get-go. What he wants to do, though, is he wants to keep those mummies out of the drive. So once he picks a lane, whether he's going to go center, right, or left, then he's going to try to keep those mummies blocking in the opposite direction so that they can't get in on the drive. Two-die block on number 16. We'll get a knockdown here. 8+ with Mighty Blow will break armor. Doesn't get it. Just rolled a 6. Brass League, welcome to the stream. Thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Two-die block here at mid-pitch. It's a both standing result thanks to the block skill. Two-die blitz on the right side. Taking it against the mummy. Got a pal here. Looking for a massive 10+ to break armor. Doesn't get it, but that's that mummy control. So he's knocked down that mummy. They only have an MA of 3. They're going to spend all 3 MA to stand back up. Everything else is a rush. Clivius, thank you so much for the bits. Cheering for the undead team. Ah, yes. Brass League once again. Oh, Brass League, thank you so much for the raid. That's so kind. Thank you very, very much. I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream. Ball pickup fail here. He'll leave it alone. Turn 1 back to the Dead Poets. Very kind. Welcome, everybody, to the Mid-Atlantic Mauling League. We're in week 6 of our second competition of the season. We have 3 open competitions per season and 1 invitational. Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. That's, you know what? It's always a proud day when you beat up some dwarfs. Two-die block over on the right side here. We'll get a knockdown. Breaks armor. So stand up, rush blitz with the mummy. Gets a stun out of it. With what else, no less. Even better. My Chicken Chaser, welcome to the stream. Says, I love that flaming head on the blitzer. Isn't he cool? Look at that guy. Gets a push on the block. Pushes Give You Up, the number 2 big and blocker over in the right wide zone. Doug the Minotaur says kill the dwarves. Would you have said that last season? Each coach with a cheerleader. Look at the cheerleaders putting in the work. A dryad cheerleader. Wow, look at that. Some Michael Jackson moves. And of course we have the Underworld cheerleaders, the duo. The high-flying duo. Down to 8 seconds on the turn for the Dead Poets. They're about to dip into the bonus clock. In this version of the game, you get 7 minutes and 30 seconds of bonus time that you can spend throughout the course of the game. So if you have one really important turn, you can relax and spend a little bit of time on it. Really no action here. Wonder what's going on. Must be thinking about his move. So that blitz with the mummy, because it's 3 MA to stand up, that was a rush. Got through the rush rolls, 2+ to take the blitz. Remember, both mummies have Mighty Blow. That treats the armor or the injury roll as a +1, whichever one you need it for. So if you don't need it for the armor roll, you can get it for the injury roll. Clivey says, nothing focuses and or distracts you like that stupid ticking reserve clock. Sends 2 into the left wide zone, sends Joplin, the number 7 ghoul runner, back into the safety position, as well as Thane, the rookie ghoul runner, will move back as well. And now, with 6 minutes, 27 seconds left on the bonus clock, it'll be turn 2 back to Nevva. 3 rerolls for Nevva, a massive 4 rerolls for the Dead Poets. 2-die block to get things started. This is a knockdown on the injured Zombo, but doesn't break armor. Two-die block back at mid-pitch. This will be a both standing result. Still can't knock down this heroic number 12 lineman, Johnson, holding down the fort at mid-pitch. Minute 10 on the clock. I'm trying to figure out where he wants to go with the ball. We'll probably try to hold down mid-pitch. Doesn't want to commit too early to either wide zone. Oh, my chicken chaser, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it very much. Teleli is going to shift back to set up what is probably going to end up being a cage. I just want to tell you how I's feeling. The number 12 Orc lineman will move to the right side of the ball. 1-die block on the number 16 zombie. This will be a pal. Doesn't break armor despite having Mighty Blow. That was a 1-die block. This was strength 4 to strength 3. That was a 1-die block. Even though the mummy was marked, the mummy has the guard skill, so he's always going to lend that assist. Brings in the assist for the 2-die against the mummy and spends the reroll. Really wanted the knockdown here. Got a push instead. Never got it down to 2 rerolls. Pushes the mummy away, freeing up this mummy to reposition. Good pickup this time by Say Goodbye. Say Goodbye is going to be the ball carrier. Number 8 advances to Nevva own 6-yard line. Clive said taking that reroll crazy. Yeah, I didn't like it. And tried to block with the troll. Not going to be able to knock down the center defensive tackle. The troll's going to end up really stupid. Roll a d6. It's a 2+ when you have a friendly next to you to tap you on the shoulder to remind you you've got a game to play. But despite that, Rick Astley II is just kind of staring off into space. Not only does he lose his actions, but more importantly, he loses all of his tackle zones. My chicken chaser says Zombie Johnson holding down the line. Yes, he is. A hero, a champion. in life. A successful entrepreneur, owned a massive burger chain, a restaurant chain, and in death decided to pick up Blood Bowl. 2-die blitz by Lennon. Rush blitz here. Only gets a push out of it. Yeah, so that freed up Mummy. Interesting choice. So he comes in on the blitz here on the line, gets the push on Make It Cry, decides to follow up. Bad dog says. Just never gotta rickroll his dice. Another push by the Mummy in the right wide zone. Now 2-die block on Desertia. This will be a knockdown. Looking for a 10 plus. Doesn't get the armor break. Defense trying to keep its formation in check here, but they do have this Mummy that's crossed over to the opposing side of the pitch here. Might get locked down. If Nevva decides to take some action, we'll see what they're going to do on their upcoming turn 3. Oh, wow. Dead Poets applying pressure on the right side. They send 2 Ghoul Runners, Joplin, the Blodger, and the Rookie over to the right side of the ball carrier. Turn 3 for Nevva. Yeah, Nevva committing to the left wide zone now. They're going to try to leave Lennon behind. Number 12 might be up next. Let's see. Maybe not. Has 2 free players to reposition. Took a mark on Cobain. This means he might be taking the blitz on Cobain, the number 5 white blitzer. Repositions let you down. Down pitch. Way down pitch. Rushes the ball into position, crosses the line of scrimmage down the hole on the left side of the line. Nevva now on the opposing 8-yard line. Pulls in the assist to try to take the block on Lennon. Rush blitz on Hendricks. That was a blodger, but he got the POW he was looking for. But remember, Hendricks is a sidestepper, so S. Beaver will get to decide not only what space this Ghoul Runner gets pushed into, but it doesn't have to be back. It could be any adjacent open space. And so now, after that block, no armor break, Hendricks pushed onto the ball carrier. Dodges away to try to get the block on number 16 instead. Still a 1-die block if he takes it, but it's a skilled block. Nope, he's going to dodge instead. Goes for the foul. Gets called off the pitch. Doesn't get anything out of the foul. He knew the danger of having Hendricks on the ground. Went for the foul, got called off the pitch. Didn't get anything out of the foul. Now it's a 1-man player advantage for the Dead Poets. 2-die block, double pushes against the number 12 Orc lineman back at the line of scrimmage. Boy, what the Dead Poets wouldn't give for a strip ball Ghoul Runner right about now. Negating the assist by Telelai. Almost certainly going to go for the stand-up 1-die here. Replays of Core, thank you so much for the follow. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. "36 seconds on the clock here for the Dead Poets. They still have players to reposition before they take this blitz. All right, trying to encircle the offense here, but it's really going to come down to the results of the blitz. Oh, covers the front of the cage. Has nothing on the right. Two-die block on Tell a Lie. Gets a knockdown here. Can he get the 10 plus? He cannot. Tell a Lie will be back in action for the upcoming Nork turn. Here's that blitz. One die blitz. Gets a push out of it. Probably re-rolls this. I don't know. Risky. You went for it. Might as well. Yes, sir. Oh, no! Rolled into a skull. Oh, no! Replays of Core asks, is it league or it's league. It's a league match. Mid-Atlantic Volleying League. This is week 6 of the second competition in the season. So, unfortunately there, went for it, re-rolled the die, rolled into a skull, and on an undead team, the only players who don't have regen, well, it's the ghouls. 10v10 on the pitch now. That's a big loss ghoul as well. That's the high dollar ghoul, level 4, injured, out for the rest of the game. I'm sorry, not Mighty Blow. Sprint, dodge, sure hands, and block. Woohoo! There's another removal. That's the regen we were talking about in the pregame. It's a 50-50 on the regen. And S-Beaver recognizing that, knowing when to take the marks and say, you know what? It's worth it. If I lose this guy, but I have a chance of regen, so it's worth it to take the mark here. It's going to be a 2-man player advantage for Nevva currently. And now a 2-die block on Thane. The number 10 Ghoul Runner will be a dodge push. Gelshi1 says, true to my word, go work, break some bones. You've got the touch. 31 seconds to go, and turn 4 for Nevva. Ball carrier blitz against Morrison, the number 4 white blitzer. He gets a knockdown here. 8+ with break armor, but doesn't get it. Repositions back into the pocket. This is exactly what we're talking about with the mummy here, right? So he takes this mark with the mummy, and the reason he's keeping this mark, sure, that mummy has a 2-die with Mighty Blow, but all he's doing, unless he's blitzing, is going this way, and that is not the direction that S-Beaver wants the mummy to go with. With only 3 MA, every point of movement counts, right? So if this was a blitz, that counts as a point of movement. If not, he's staying put. If he stays on the pitch, he gets back up and remarks the mummy. Final turn of the first quarter, the Dead Poets with 3 rerolls remaining. They're down a player. They're down 2 players. 2-die block in the right wide zone. He'll get a knockdown here, looking for a 9+. Both mummies out of the drive currently, so he'll stay put with Harrison, but Givey Up's going to remain on the pitch, so he'll just stand right back up and mark that mummy, keeping those mummies away from the ball carrier. Two-die block over the left wide zone this time, gets a knockdown. Looking for a 10+. 10+ is hard to crack. But he's done it. Boy, has he done it. I stand corrected. Oh, the Oppo spent here. Oppo spent, oh, I think he had a serious injury to begin with. Yeah. Rolled into a neck injury. Couldn't take that. Took serious injury instead. That's a removal. So 9v9 on the pitch now. These two teams really identified by having great positionals. So every removal you get really counts. Maybe not so much for the zombie linemen, but they're really good pieces for an undead team. Oh, stand up blitz, re-rolled into a pal this time. He's going to get the knockdown on the ball carrier. Breaks armor. Great stun. The ball's going to bounce to the 6. He's going to end up taking a mark on the ball here. Re-rolled this blitz again. And this time got the knockdown. Yeah, these zombies don't seem that great, right? Strength 3, MA 4, Ag 4. That's pretty average and slow. Takes a 2-eye uphill on the troll. This will be a push. But they're so cheap and they have regen. They're really good linemen. Dead Poets are going to get a push on Rick Astley II. Under 5 minutes on the bonus clock for the Dead Poets now. 3+ dodge by Thane. Remember, all these ghoul runners come with the dodge skill, so they'll get a free reroll on their dodges. 2 ghoul runners marking the ball now. Good 3+ dodge by Jones, the rookie number 9 ghoul runner. Currently in the safety position, but going to try to shift into a more offensive situation. He'll have to win the scrum here coming up in the second half, or second quarter, rather. 4 minutes, 20 seconds left on the bonus clock for the Dead Poets. Second quarter begins. Nevva with 4 turns to try to get on the board. Takes a mark on the mummy. Over in the right wide zone. 2-die block against Thane is a dodge push. Oh, it's not. He has tackle. Well done. Tackle negates dodge, and that is now 2 ghoul runners that are permanently out of the game. The Dead Poets down to 2 runners left. Remember the pregame. This game comes down to the ghoul runners, and it comes down to regen. We've seen the value of regen. We've seen the value of the ghoul runners. And now the Dead Poets are down to 2. 2-die blitz against Joplin. Could take the both standing result. Looks like he's going to take the push result instead. Pushes Joplin, the blodger, off the ball. Follows up with Let You Down. Big end blockers all have a strength of 4. This one also has Mighty Blow, guard, and block. Good 3+ pickup by Make You Cry. Nevva recovers this ball on the opposing 6-yard line. And they're going to shift over to the right side of center pitch here. Try to get a little more protection on the ball. 2-die block back in the left wide zone. This will be a knockdown. Looking for a 9+. If he gets a 9+, he'll get a +1 to the injury roll. Gets a stun. Turn 5 for the Dead Poets. Ball's gone back and forth for these few turns here. Dead Poets have lost 2 of their runners. They're down to 2 left. 1 rookie, 1 blodger. Two rerolls apiece for each team. Dead Poets, S. Beaver, trying to calculate, trying to do the calculus. How do you keep the pressure on? And if not, how do I get my defensive formation back? Because now he's finding a number of pieces are behind the ball. Rush blitz, do a one-die blitz, gets a push. Does he spend this again? He does! Boy, man, that's a cavalier use of the rerolls. Down to one reroll for the Dead Poets, gets a push against Make You Cry. Now he's going to get the 2-die with the Mummy. That's going to be a both standing result. Oh, he rerolls the final reroll. Got the pal he was looking for. Can he convert here? He's out of rerolls. Doesn't break armor. Ball's going to bounce to the Dead Poets 4-yard line. Segnor Sloop, welcome to the stream. Did you say cavalier use? I did. Lennon's going to take a pow against the Orc Zombie, marking him over on the left side of the line. No rerolls, but man, spent those rerolls. And now, you know, the example we always use is, well played, sir. Thank you, sir. The example we always use as to why rerolls are so important in this game is the simple example is the coin flip, right? Flip a coin. If I need to roll heads. If I need to get heads on the coin flip, what are my odds? It's 50-50. Fine. But now, what if I get to flip it again and I just need heads on one of those? Well, now it's a 75%. That's a huge difference, right? When we're talking about a D6 where there's 6 different faces rather than, you know, a D20 or D100 or whatever, the differences are huge. The differences are significant. And in this version of the rules, where you can spend more than one reroll on a turn, the swing in percentages is enormous for plays. So losing those rerolls means the odds for everything drastically change, right? Not only that, but now your action order becomes critical, because if you roll dice and fail, you have nothing to make that safer, and you're at risk of a turnover. Turn 6 for Nevva, taking the blocks they were given, going to try to pick the ball up with Hurcha, it seems. And once they do, they're gonna try to dash down pitch. It's gonna be a 3+ pickup. They have 2 rerolls remaining. Fail to pick up, they'll re-roll here. Oh no! Failed pickup in turn 6. The Dead Poets now with 3 turns to try to stop this score. Not the outcome Chime was looking for. Really wanted to get that ball down pitch. Spent a re-roll, failed. Chime in the picture-in-picture, lamenting the ball drop there. He would have been in real great shape to score, but now the danger is significantly increased now. He's got to end turn 7 in scoring position. Johnson, the number 12 lineman, is going to stand up and mark the ball, as is the number 16 lineman. This Mummy on the right side got back into the drive. He'll get another block. There it is. 2-die block on Desert Ya. Gets the knockdown. 9+ breaks armor. Broke armor. Oh boy, I was gonna say that's a great stun. That's a great KO. Huge KO here for the Dead Poets. Nevva running out of pieces to clear the ball. Two-die block will let you down. This will be a POW. Oh, took the 1-die on the troll. I would not have. I would have let that rock. Gets a push out of it. Turn 7 for Nevva. He did indeed desert you. All right. Moved the Orc Lineman over to make the action, the really stupid roll for the Troll, a 2+ instead of a 4+. Repositioned the Troll to take a mark on Joplin, the number 7 runner. He has to end his turn in scoring position. He is there right now, but he really wants to try to clear this ball. Has just one reroll remaining for the half. Failed a 3+ dodge here. Oh, spent the reroll, failed again. No, big loss. Oh, somebody didn't pray to Nuffle before the game. Spent the final reroll here. That's going to be the end of the turn for Nevva, and now it is the Dead Poets who have blocks to take. Unable to clear the ball, the Dead Poets might be able to secure the ball in this turn. They roll double pals to start the turn. They don't break armor with the Mummy. Blitz with the white. 2-die blitz. Got the pal and hurt ya. The only opposing player adjacent to the ball. Signer Sloop says, I'm awfully distracted by the burning mohawk or whatever it is. It's really cool. It's really cool. Four undead players now marking the ball. One ghoul runner, that's Jones. Oh, I was gonna say, if that's a good pickup, that could be huge. But nope. Somebody greased the ball here. Turn 8 for Nevva. Boy, they have an incredibly slim chance of scoring. We'll see if they even attempt it. The Dead Poets, if they stop the score, they've done their job. 2-die block on Joplin. That'll be, pushing onto the ball. Oh! Breaks armor. Gets a stun. Yeah. Oh, man. Pushing onto the ball is fun, but that could have gone anywhere. And anywhere other than where it was is probably not where Nevva wanted to be. The ball now in the hands of Cobain, the number 5 White Blitzer. Blitz still on the table, but it's going to have to go after this White Blitzer if he wants to recover the ball. And I don't know who's going to be able to throw it. Well, that's not going to do it. So Nevva not going to be able to score. And the Dead Poet successfully stopping this offense right at mid-pitch. Signer Slip says, all right, Blood Bowl 3, please take my real money for cosmetic DLC. Yeah, now Pools say goodbye back to play some semblance of defense, although I don't think anybody on the Dead Poets will be able to score. In fact, I guarantee nobody on the Dead Poets can score. Just taking the block's going to call this a turn afterward. Has a block with the Troll to make. Oh no, he doesn't, because he already spent the blitz. Turn 8 for the Dead Poets. Final turn of this first quarter. They've done their job and stopped the offense. They'll be on offense themselves to start this second half. Looking for some removals, looking for Kaz, looking for SPP. 2-die block in the right wide zone. They'll get the knockdown. 9+ breaks armor. After taking his blocks, may as well close the turn out with trying to pass with Cobain to get a point of SPP. He's marked by 2 opposing players. The chances are grim. He'll need a 6, but may as well try. Unless he ends up taking a block. He might have taken a block with the blitzer. Let's see if he can make this work. Oh, going for the pass instead. All right, that'll be the end of the half. 0-0 the score. The Dead Poets successfully stopping Nevva on offense. The Dead Poets will now be on defense to start this second half. Oh boy, and Nevva not going to get back their KO. So not getting back their KO, that means they're going to have 9 on the pitch versus 9, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10. It's going to be a one-man player advantage for the Dead Poets. And now it's Nevva setting up in an anchor formation. They have 3 on the line. That big guy, the troll, right in the center defensive tackle position. Replays, of course, as the true terror of all PvP players. The one. 3 on the line for the Dead Poets currently. What am I missing? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh, this is his playbook. This is one thing that I understand it's very low on the developer priority list. But I would love the playbooks to have like depth charts. That way, when you choose one of your formations, it just you have guys that are dead or injured or something, that it doesn't just leave gaps in the formation. But very low priority. Both mummies on the line. This is not bad. They have guard each. He's splitting the mummies up, one in the left guard position, one in the right guard position. And the reason he's doing that is he wants to give 2 points of guard to the zombie in the middle, effectively giving him 3 players with a strength of 5. The only remaining ghoul runners back to receive. Here's the kick. Brilliant coaching. And Nevva is going to get the reroll. Praise Nuffle. 4 rerolls apiece now. Deep kick by the Dead Poets. The ball on the opposing 22-yard line. Nevva may not have scored on offense, but they are certainly not out of this game. The Undead team down to just 2 of their 4 ghoul runners. 2-die block on the line. Gets a POW against the troll. Gets a knockdown, doesn't break armor. Would have been a 9+. Now a 2-die block against the right defensive end. Gets a POW here. And now a 3-die block on the left defensive end. Gets a POW. So if he grouped up these mummies on the line differently, he could have got 2 3-die blocks out of it. But this is fine as well. You know, he wants to go 3 strength 5. That'd be great for holding down the pitch. Decides not to follow up. Wants to keep that line in formation. Now 2-die blitz against the number 16 Goblin. Gets a POW here. Goblins just have an AV of 8+. It's fairly fragile. There's the armor break. Gets a stun. And then resets the blitzer back across the line of scrimmage. Surprised he took these blocks before covering the ball. Not that he really has to cover the ball, but maybe this means he's going to run the ghoul runner back up to mid-pitch. But if he didn't, like if that would have been a turnover, I would have come in and marked these players here. Good ball pickup. Ball in the hands of Joplin, the level 3 ghoul runner. This is the safer player to have the ball. The problem is, it's also the player that's eating up all the SPP, so the rookie's not getting any SPP. That might change depending on how the drive plays out. Troll stands up. He's not that stupid. Number 12, Orc Landon, is going to move back onto the line, marking Lennon, the number 2 mummy. He's the right guard for the offense. Moves run around. The number 4 blocker across the line of scrimmage in the left wide zone. It's marking that that injured blitzer. That White also marking Alexander, the injured lineman. 2 marks now over on the left side of the line. Has to be careful that he doesn't overextend here. If he gets marked down, the ball can just move in the opposite direction. But he's going super aggressive here. So he's got to make sure he holds down center pitch. 2-die blitz on the number 16 lineman in the right wide zone. This will be a push. He pushes him to the outside and decides not to follow up so they can set up a column in the right wide zone. Shifts the safety over laterally to the right. Turn 10 back to the Dead Poets. The reason why columns are so effective is because you have all these tackle zones that you're exerting. And if a player comes in and blocks down the first player, right, he's knocked down, well, you're still exerting tackle zones here. So you've got the field covered. You'll see teams, elves like to do this a lot, right? They'll set up a column here, 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 and here, something like this. And then look, now you've got the entire pitch screened out and nobody can just blitz through. He is giving up the right sideline, but I don't think this Orc team would mind if this Undead team shut down the right sideline. Dead Poets here in turn 10, under a minute to play in the turn. They have a ton of options. So they've got free players on the right, they've got marks on the left. They can try to get these blocks on the left, or they can try to convert on this and start moving down pitch. The problem is if they score too early, they're going to give their opponent an opportunity to try to tie the ball game. Advances the ball to his own 10-yard line, just inside the left wide zone. Takes a mark behind Say Goodbye, the blitzer in the right wide zone. And then takes a mark in front of Give You Up. That's the blocker in the right wide zone. Gonna take the blocks. 2-die block with Makes You Cry. Takes those blocks that he's been given to the left. Gets a knockdown, follows up. Surely he's not gonna take a 1-die against Runaround with the block skill. Takes a 2-die on number 12, the right defensive end. He's back on the bonus clock with under 3 minutes 50 seconds. 9+ will break armor here. He's got it. Got a KO. Great KO. Those mummies can be nightmares once they pick up block and guard. Break, tackle, juggernaut, also great skills to combo with. Another armor break. Goodness gracious. You can see Chime lamenting the block there in the picture-in-picture. Those kill mummies, they're doing some killing. Nevva gonna now in turn 10. How many players do they have left? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Is it 10v7? 10v9? 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 3-man player advantage for the Dead Poets. Re-rolls this block into a POW on the number 16 lineman. Gets the knockdown. Failed to dodge in the right wide zone. Spends another reroll. He's down to 2 rerolls. Tries to get a second safety into position in front of the ball. Has a significant player deficit. Takes the 1-die block against the Zombo. Gets the knockdown. It's one space closer to the ball, but remember, these ghouls have an MA of 7. Nobody on the Orc team has an MA of 7. They cannot catch the player once they break away. Fails another dodge. This time doesn't spend the reroll. And that's going to be a turnover. Ooh. Rough turn for Nevva. Gonna turn 11 back to the Dead Poets. Really, all they got out of that was 2 secondary players. 2 safeties, and now the Dead Poets will take a block on the Troll. They'll take a block on runaround. They'll take a blitz somewhere, and they'll get this ball safe. Remark give you up with number 16 in the right wide zone, just keeping that strength 4 player tied up and out of the drive. Advances the ball to the Dead Poets' own 2-yard line, right to the right side of the offensive line. Two-die block on the Troll will be a push. Pushes that Troll away. Probably won't follow up. We'll see. I think he'll stay put here. Oh, he's going to follow up. Sets up a faux cage on the right side of the ball carrier. Now the 3-die blitz on the Goblin only gets a dodge push out of this. All right, the mummies grouped up. So each of those mummies is basically strength 6 at this point. Takes the 1-die on runaround and will get the knockdown. Dead Poets with 3 minutes left on the bonus clock. Turn 11 now for Nevva Gunner. They're down to 2 rerolls for the game. So S. Beaver set up these mummies to push this way, right? Now he's exerting these tackle zones with the strength advantage. And that's his protection on the left side. Nevva Gunner finally getting rid of that nuisance zombie in the right wide zone with the blitzer. Repositions the blitzer. If you're unfamiliar in Blood Bowl, a blitz is a once per turn action. There's a number of once per turn actions you can take: blitz, foul, pass, and handoff. And blitz is basically a move and a block all in one. So typically you can either move or block, but a blitz allows you to move and block. It's just that the block will count as one of your points of movement. Something that new coaches of the game often forget is after taking a blitz, you can reposition that player if you have movement points left. So you can go take a block and then move that blitzer into position, maybe to lend an assist on another block or put him in a more favorable, advantageous position for you. Keeping the 2 safeties in front of the ball. Oh, gotta chuck the Goblin here. Oh boy, failed the roll. This is a huge risk. Chances weren't gonna work out. He would need to roll boxcars. There's a 6 and another 6. Failed the roll, failed the landing, but the Goblin mercifully stays on the pitch. So the Troll has throw teammate. The Goblin has the right stuff. That means the Troll can throw the Goblin. Tried to use him as a bullet almost certainly targeting the ball carrier. My chicken chaser says, never a bad time to throw a goblin. It's always fun. With the marks, that was a 6 he needed. But the troll is also always hungry, so if he's going to throw a teammate, he has to roll a d6. And basically, there's a slim chance, we've seen it already this season, there's a slim chance he actually eats his teammate. One die block on the troll pushes them away, rather than pushes them to the side to get another 2-die block. Decided he wanted to free up the mummy to come take the blitz on Give Ya Up. 2-die blitz. This will be a push, I believe. Yeah, it doesn't want the both standing result. He'll push and follow up here. And now he has another 2-die block on Give Ya Up. Advances the ball 1 space to the opposing 4-yard line. Sagnor's Loop says, he has 4 rerolls! Oh, I'm sorry, he advances the ball carrier to the 2-yard line. Trying to set up a cage here. He needs to take this block on Give Ya Up. Doesn't want to leave this mark. Also has Morrison to reposition. He'll probably pull Morrison in the back left corner of the cage. Fair enough, he pulls him right behind the ball carrier. There's the 2-die block. He'll take the push out of this and then stay put. Yes, sir. Turn 12 for Nevva Gunna. Final turn of the third quarter. It is a 0-0 ball game. This Orc team, Nevva Gunna with 2 rerolls left. There's a 3-player deficit on their team. They're trying to stop the score and maybe even pull out a win. Gets a stun against Alexander, the number 14 lineman. Here comes the blitz on the front left corner of the cage. Will only get a push out of this. Oh, he spends a reroll into the POW. He's got it. 7+ breaks armor due to Mighty Blow, but doesn't get it. He'll follow up and mark the ball carrier. AV of 8, Mighty Blow says you get a +1 to the armor roll if you need it. If you naturally break armor, you get the +1 to the injury roll instead. Double skulls. Oh, he's just going to take the double skulls in the right wide zone, saving that reroll for something he can convert on. Big armor break there, though. He failed the armor roll and was stunned. That player's going to be out for basically 2 turns. Be out next turn, and then the following turn is going to cost 3 MA to stand up. With an MA of 5, that means only 2 MA of movement on turn 14. Fourth quarter begins now for the Dead Poets. They are on the opposing 2-yard line. Two-die block against Say Goodbye. Breaks armor. Or, I'm sorry, well, he did break armor. Gets the knockdown, breaks armor, and that's another removal. 4-man player advantage for the Dead Poets. Actually, it might be 3, because I think he lost a zombie. Let's count it up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wait. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 9v5, 4-man player advantage. Chime sorrowful as the coach there. You can see the coach. He's like, why, Nuffle, why? Setting up the cage in the right wide zone. Why not after that stun? The ball now on the opposing 8-yard line. Chime's going to have to pull some magic out of his hat, because you can bet the Dead Poets are not going to score next turn. They're not going to score the turn after that. They're going to try to stall this out till turn 16. Two die block on Rick Astley the second. This will be a knockdown. Oh boy. Oh boy. I would have dodged out the lineman. Just try to mark this guy. Why not? What else are you going to do? Has to rush here. He's got to re-roll this. Oh. But why here? That blocker's not going to be able to catch Joplin. Joplin is currently in scoring position. 2 rushes will score. Good dodge in the left wide zone. Has a safety in position. Hurtia will have to get up in personal here, I think. There's really no other option. Probably takes a dodge at the Goblin at some point. But no rerolls makes every single one of these actions risky. Decides Hirsch is going to move in the right wide zone. He's going to stay off the cage, but still not stopping the score. Might be trying to incentivize the quick score, but I think what's going to happen is, yeah, failed dodge here. I think what's going to happen is Hirsch is going to get marked from behind. Turn 14 for the Dead Poets. Takes a mark on Make You Cry. If Make You Cry wants to get away, it would have to be a blitz. And 1 point of MA would be spent on the blitz, which effectively brings the movement down to 4. So that's here. Stands up Alexander way back in no man's land. At 1 point of movement to spend. Shifts the ball over to the left side of the pitch. Morrison will come in to protect the ball carrier. Yeah, there's that shift to block Hurtia from behind now. So good mark here by S. Beaver. He's getting his player between the opposing player and where they want to be. Mummy to the rear of the ball carrier. Morrison will get in to protect the ball as well. Trying to lock down Make You Cry. So you can see what he's done here is Make You Cry. Every single one of his dodges would be a negative dodge. Oh, why blitz here? That's a great mark. Why blitz here? Gets the knockdown, so he's going to push Make You Cry out and has all these tackle zones between Make You Cry and the ball carrier now. Turn 14 for Nevva. Von Rue, welcome to the stream. 0-0 ball game with the Dead Poets knocking on the door of the end zone. My Chicken Chaser says, I am baffled this game is still somehow 0-0. Breaks armor in the right wide zone, gets a KO. 3-man player advantage now for the Dead Poets. That's the blitz spent. Give You Up's going to rush into position to get an assist. Rekes, thank you so much for the follow. Hello, welcome to the stream. Thank you very much for the follow. I appreciate it. Took the 2-die block. It was both standing result against Cobain, the number 5 blitzer. Stands up, make you cry. 3+ dodge into 2 rushes. It's really not going to be enough here. Turn 15 for the Dead Poets coming up shortly. Tried to vomit all over Harrison. Was unable to break armor. Signer's Loop says, what I have learned is that I do not need to purchase rerolls. Maybe. What are you're playing Renegades? I think Renegades could make an argument for more rerolls, but the problem is once you have them, and that's TV that you're giving up to your opponent. So you really don't want to keep them. You don't want to have more than you'll need because there's a cost to that. So the Dead Poets could walk this ball in right now if they want to, but they more than likely want to stall this out till turn 16. Gonna stall this out right at the 24-yard line. Segnor's Loop says the opposite. Focus on pro for Renegades and stick to 2 rerolls. I think 2 rerolls is very light. Like, that's tricky, especially if you're rocking 3 big guys. I mean, you probably don't want to reroll the big guys anyway, just because of loner. But two is a little light. 2 is a little light for me. But I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. All right, 2-die blitz against Make You Cry. He needs to stay standing here if Chime stands a chance, and he will. Definitely follow up here. Yep. Currently an uphill block by Make You Cry. And now a 2-die on the troll will be a push. Try to dodge away the lineman. Succeeded on the dodge and rushes into position just to make this blitzer attempt, Make You Cry's attempt to blitz the ball carrier, or at least mark the ball carrier, all the more improbable. That's your reroll. Yeah, that's your reroll. Good 3+ dodge by Cobain over in the right wide zone as well. Raquel says, for Undead, you can have 3 or 4 rerolls without the Oppo, but I'm a big fan of 3 for the TV. Yeah, I think 3 is the spot for me as well with Undead. Nevva needs to pray to Nuffle right here. They've got one shot at this. Oh, go for it, man. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it. I would say his best shot is to blitz out of here, do a couple of dodges to mark the ball carrier, and hope Nuffle is kind. Takes the 1-die block. Just takes it as a block. Gonna take the blitz. It was gonna be a double rush blitz by runaround. Not gonna work out. Turn 16, the Dead Poets. They have rerolls. They might take some blocks first, but no, he wants to win this game. He's gonna walk it into the end zone. 1-0. The Dead Poets take the lead. Well done. It is not over yet, because remember, There is a troll and a goblin on the pitch. We'll see. We'll see if Nevva Gunner can make a miracle happen with a one-turn touchdown. Thank you very much for the bits. Yeah, no reroll. It's a long shot, but yes, sixes happen. Dead Poets are going to screen out the pitch. They have to. They've got to screen out. Yeah, that's exactly where they want their players to be. They have to screen it out. They have to make this as hard as possible for Nevva Gunner. Really doesn't matter a whole lot where they put their line. Even if they spread their line wide, it just means the troll would go into the wide zone. Although, he could try to force the troll into one wide zone, kick to the opposite wide zone. He doesn't have a kicker, though. Putting one up on the line. Why? Oh. Must have been a misclick. Why put the... I don't know why number 14's on the line. Maybe he's just afraid of the blocks. But I think Nevva Gunner is not... I think he's going to try for the draw here. Yeah, so we'll see the troll with a goblin behind. So the troll can throw up to a maximum of short range. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then the goblin can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. GFI to score. I'm sorry, rush to score. But there'll be a number of dodges. There will be 3 dodges to take as well. And a number of rolls to complete this pass. There will more than likely have to be a handoff to the goblin. They'll have to get through a really stupid roll, a always hungry roll. They'll have to succeed on the pass, succeed on the landing, succeed on the dodges, succeed on the rushes. Oh no, Nevva, why? He cannot pick this ball up with the goblin. So you can see now, it's... Oh, he's going to roll the dice first. It's going to be a -1 on the pickup now. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's going to be a rush. A rush to grab this ball. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. One rush to pick the ball up. It's a -1 on the pickup, making it a 50-50, and then a handoff. Sector Sloop. Thank you for the bits. All right. All right, here we go. One rush. Got the rush. Good. Pickup. But failed the handoff. Oh, good try. The Dead Poets are going to win this one 1-0. Well done. Look at those mummies. What? And that's going to do it. The Dead Poets win this one 1-0. Well played by both coaches, and a deserved win, of course. With that win, S Beavers Dead Poets will advance into first place in Division A. They are 3-0, one of just 2 undefeated teams left in Division A, the other being Dead Fred's Real American Heroes. A great game. We talked about how in the pregame, how it was going to come down to those ghoul runners and come down to the regen, and S Beaver was able to find a way to navigate that. I think Nevva Gunner got really committed to the rerolls for a couple of turns there in the first and second half, and it ended up biting them. And the Dead Poets were able to pull out the win 1-0. Great game, well played by both coaches too. That was a lot of fun to watch. Raquel says mummies are the best. Mummies are great. Mummies are absolutely great. All right, that'll do it for tonight. The next game we have is tomorrow night, Tuesday, May 7th at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That's UTC -4. That's going to be Cenozoic Park versus Stairway to Nuffle. Nick Satan versus El Nubarino Lizards versus Underworld. And then on Thursday, May 9th, we're going to have I Want to Be Like Doug versus the White Skull Windbreakers. Richard Cranium versus League Champion Doug the Minotaur. That will be Dwarves versus Orcs. And then on Friday, we have the Bonebreakers versus Rodentia. Gale She 1 versus Spire. That's Black Orcs versus Skaven. One game left to be scheduled this week here in week number 6. And when that game gets scheduled, you'll be able to check out and get alerted to those schedules on our website at maml.club. That's MAML.CLUB, here on Twitch or on our social media pages on Blue Sky, Twitter, and Facebook. You can also watch previous games on our YouTube channel. Play Blood Bowl, man. This game is so great. Where else can you have a really hungry troll who might eat your goblin, but if he doesn't, you can score a touchdown in one turn. You can play Blood Bowl via Blood Bowl 3 on Steam, the Epic Game Store, PlayStation, and Xbox, and in tabletop form at your friendly local game store. Until tomorrow night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, take care, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your Monday evening.